Hey y'all, it's me and I'm back with another video, and I am here to show you my seeds. I'm going to start early. I'm going to get a jump on spring, and I just wanted to show you my layout. I had a friend of mine, she's an old co-worker. She came by over the weekend and we divided up seeds. I mean, you guys, I had so many seeds. I keep them in a tote. This tote, as a matter of fact. As the months go by, if I'm in a store, if I see some interesting seeds, I always pick them up, toss them in my tote. Last year was not a very productive year for me in the garden, so I didn't do much of anything. As a matter of fact, if I'm truthful, for the last couple of years, it hadn't been very productive. I hadn't had a very productive year since the pandemic, since before the pandemic. So I am determined to make the most of this year, and I am going to do something with these seeds. Now, believe it or not, we divided up a whole lot of seeds, and I still have plenty left. And I was trying to get down to at least 5 to 7 core vegetables that I wanted to commit to growing this summer, this spring and summer and fall. And I definitely want to plant every single one of my annuals and perennials as far as seeds this year. I don't want to hang on to any more of those. And as we were sitting there dividing them, my friend mentioned that these things have an expiration date, these seeds, and that never occurred to me. So hopefully most of these seeds will still germinate. We will pray over them and see what happens. But okay, for now, I'm going to show you what I have to get started, and I'm going to show you my seeds. All right. Okay, so here we go. First of all, I want to show you, let's move these out of the way, show you my start kits, my germination kits that I bought. I have a couple of them. This one is by Back to the Roots, and it's for fruits, veggies, herbs, and flowers. And you can see it has these little small containers with the drainage holes, so I don't have to go through that drama that me and Jaren did a couple of years ago with the cups. And I think I paid about 12 bucks for this. And then over here, I have my Jiffy greenhouse kit. And I've had great success with these, the little pucks that are inside. They kind of slid out of place. Hold on. Trying to slide it over. They're in there, but they just kind of slid out when I moved it. But this one costs about 11, 12 bucks too from Walmart. These kits come from Walmart. But these are great seed starting kits, both of them. The one thing they both have in common is they will have a cover to put on top. So they act as like a little greenhouse. And then when they get started and they get about, I don't know, yay big, then you're ready to transplant them outside. Okay, so let's go through the seeds. Woo, I told you, it's a lot. My friend didn't want the pumpkin seeds, and I think I might try those. Now, some of these are Dollar Tree, so I don't know, but we'll see what happens. The ones that you see with these little round looking symbols on them, they're Dollar Tree. I have the little green onions, the pumpkins. Then I have the beets. Now, most of my seeds, I didn't skimp. I tried to buy them organic. So I have several varieties of beets, and I want to kind of narrow them down to about 2 different varieties of beets. I have several varieties of cucumbers. I have this, I grew this tomato, I think last year, year before, so I have some seeds left in here. But I have the cherry. Now these are Dollar Tree, the cherry tomatoes. So I forgot what these are called. These are called Big Rainbows, and these were organic. These are heirlooms, so I'm definitely gonna plant these. Then I have this bitter melon. My mother's friend, she's Vietnamese. She has these in her yard, and these are very medicinal. So when I saw these, I got one. I have several packs of broccoli. I mean, all of these are organic types of broccoli, and I definitely want to grow broccoli. Then I have, I'm getting them mixed up. Then I have 2 different varieties of kale. No, I don't. They're both dwarf blue curls. So, but they're made by 2 different companies. One of them is the Back to the Roots, the same one as the grow kit that I have over there. And then the Perry Moore. I like Perry Moore seeds, so you'll see a lot of those. And I also have this variety of kale, spring or smooth. So this is, I'm definitely going to plant both varieties. And hopefully I can label them so I know what's what. Okay, moving on. I've got bell peppers. Oops, and I meant to have this over here. I've got the red, which is a sweet cut wonder. And I've got the early cow wonder. So I have the blue and the red. That'll be real pretty growing. And then I have okra. We love okra. And I think these are all the same variety of okra. The Clemson spineless. Yeah. These are all Clemson spineless. These corns came from the Dollar Tree. So I don't know how that's going to work out. And I wasn't really planning on growing corn, to tell you the truth, because it takes a lot of water. I've done that before. But I might. Then I have the cayenne peppers. As well as, this should be down here, as well as with the, they're the, what are they called? Jalapeno. The red jalapeno, as well as the green. My husband loves these. I got 1 pack of the Dollar Tree turnip greens. I wonder if they work. I hope so. And then I've got the Burpee Organic sugar pod peas. Well, this is the Cascadia pea, and then this is the sugar pot. So I'll probably do them on either side of my little tripod thing. And then I have cabbage. This is Dollar Tree cabbage, and then this is the Perry Morse cabbage. Early Golden Acre. What's this one? They're both Early Golden Acre. All right, and then cilantro. Definitely gonna plant some cilantro because I purchase this almost every grocery store trip. So I will be looking forward to this, harvesting my own cilantro. And I do believe this is organic, but I'm looking forward to that. Okay, moving on to my flower seeds. This is the amaranth. That looks very interesting. I can't wait to plant that in the backyard. I've got a couple different varieties of sunflowers. This is one, the Velvet Queen. And then I got the Evening Sun, the mixed colors. That's going to be so pretty. And I got Gloriosa Daisies. I've got Calendula, which this is a herb that you can make skin salve out of. I got a couple of those just for that reason. I'm definitely going to plant those. Then I got the English daisies. This is calendula, another calendula marigold. So I'm going to plant those together. Then I have, these are so pretty. If you've never planted morning glories, you should. They are beautiful. And I've got several different morning glory packs. These are more sunflowers. I've got the gypsophila. They look pretty, little ground covers. I think this came from the Dollar Tree, if I make no mistake. And then I've got wildflowers. See, this is gonna go over where my pollinators go, behind those planters that I showed you earlier, or in my last video, these. And look at that, black-eyed Susan vine. I had never seen that before. I was like, oh, I gotta do that. And I'm gonna make sure I plant them with the regular black-eyed Susan. So that's gonna be really pretty. These are blue and white blend cup and salsa vine. Look at that. Ah, I love it. And then more sunflowers, more calendula. Then I recently got these from Walmart. This is a clematis, and this is called City of Lion. And as you know, clematises are perennials. They only gave me one bulb because I was going to give my friend one of these, but I didn't read it that good in the store. When I got home, I discovered there is only one bulb, one root in here. So this better work. Look how pretty it is. Oh my gosh. And then I've got the daylilies. I love daylilies. I have these already in my yard, so I'll probably just reinforce and put more in the same spot I already have them. Then I have the plantain lily. And these are interesting. I could use these as sedge in the front yard. And this is to keep from having to buy so much mulch. I'm working on putting more sedge down, so eventually I won't even have to use mulch, you know. Just like in the wintertime, I'll just clean out the flower beds and just keep it moving in the spring. And then gladiolas. So I'm excited. And y'all, I wanted to explain, because in my last video I was talking about, hold on, let me flip the camera. I didn't mean flip the camera, but I wanted to take it outside to show you. I also bought this Climbing Queen Elizabeth Rose Bush from Roses. And they had them on sale. I don't even think I paid $6.99. I think it was like $4.99 on sale. So y'all better hurry up and go get some. So today I'm going to get out here and plant that, as well as this. Which this is a, oh gosh, what's the name of it? English rhododendron. That looks like that would be so pretty, and it's gonna grow into a humongous bush. And this, and it's a shame I don't forgot what this is. I'll wait till it comes back to tell. And it looked like it's kind of hanging on by a thread. So, and so do these. But anyway, oh, I also wanted to talk about these planters. I mentioned them in the last video as if I had already told y'all where these came from. So I was walking through my old neighborhood, and me and my mother were walking through my old neighborhood, and I was looking at the house I used to live in, and this lady was out there just going to town cleaning her yard. And she had these pulled over to the side, like where like she was gonna get them picked up for trash. And I stopped and I talked to her, and we were talking about some of the old neighbors that still lived over there. And I said, your yard looks so pretty. And she was saying, yeah, and I'm getting ready to put down these new planters, getting rid of these old ones. And I said, oh, you gonna throw them away? She said, yeah. I mean, they're still usable, they're just bent. See? And she said, we just don't want to have to go through all that. We just gonna buy some more. So I said, I want them, I'll take them. She said, well, come get them. So as you can see, there's a small square one, and there is nothing wrong with this one. And this is the one I want to do my herb. I want to start my herbs in. And this, the large one with 3, is the one I want to start my vegetables in. Now, how many I'm going to be able to start in here, I don't know. But I will see once I get started. And what she told me to do was to do cardboard, then do untreated mulch, then do soil before I put my plants out. So I just wanted to explain that to y'all. And let's look over here at my little fountain that I created. I still see water in it. I haven't really seen any birds, but I know that birds are in my mulberry tree as well as my neighbor's tree. And y'all, I don't know what kind of tree my neighbor has over there, but it's got the prettiest flowers. It's got the prettiest flowers in the summertime. I was gonna go over there and ask them what they are, but they're very big, tall trees. So I know it's a whole lot of wildlife out here. Y'all look, just since I did that video the other day, look at the blooms on my plum tree. I gotta hurry up and go get another one, because my uncle said you have to, it has to be 2 of them so they can cross pollinate. And I think I'm not supposed to get the same kind. I'm supposed to get another kind of plum tree. So, and I gotta make sure it's the right zone. 5 through 9. So y'all, I put these lemons out here because I didn't use them, and I left them sitting out and they went bad and they got real hard. So I think I'm gonna put them in a bucket and just see what happens. You never know, they might come up. A little lemon tree might come up. Anyway, I don't want to bore y'all to death. I'm gonna fertilize. I'm planning on fertilizing today. And once I fertilize, I'm gonna get all my plants put into my little planters that I showed you, my little starters. And I might come back, cut back to you then just to show you what I've done. Okay, so here I am pouring the vitamin infused water over the pucks. I am saturating them like the instructions say. And you're supposed to let them swell up to about 1.5 inches. And it's funny because I could actually hear them soaking in the water. I'm just trying to make sure everything is there. And it's kind of weird because I was missing about 4 of them. I have no idea where they are. But right here, they have swollen. So I am following instructions and kind of opening up the net and putting in my seeds. And I did like 4 rows of each of the seeds. And I kind of got tired of doing it this way, so I used a fork to kind of stir up the soil on the inside of the puck. But this didn't take long at all. This probably took me about 10 to 15 minutes to do this one tray. Okay, so I have completed planting my seeds, and I wrote each one on these little tabs. And I'll have to get something to make sure it doesn't smear off. But the first 4 rows are kale, the second 4 rows are peas, and the third 4 rows are beets. So now I'm going to go on to my other tray. Okay, so I have taken it out to the porch. I finished my first tray, and I'm on my second tray. And it's going to be messy. That's why I came out here. The back to the roots tray, you have to supply your own potting soil. So it just includes the organic plantable trays, 50 cells, the reusable drip tray, and the greenhouse lid. So I have gone to, turn around in my chair, Lowe's, and I got the potting mix. The Miracle Grow was on sale 2 for, I think it was 2 for $20. I think that's what it was. I just got them maybe about 4 days ago. I got 2 of them, and they're 25 pounds, 20 pounds, 25 pounds. So I got my little scooper, and I'm going to fill my cells. And like I said, I have them labeled, and I have my seeds, and I'm getting ready to get started. And the directions on these were a little bit different. With these, you would fill the trays with your starting mix, and then you would plant your seeds and inside of each of your cells, and then you would add water to each cell. And the soil, it says it must be moist and not flooded. Then you would cover it with your greenhouse lid and put it in a warm location away from direct sunlight. Now I have some of the gallon of the other mix in the house of the water with the little vitamin stuff in there, and I'm kind of like up in the air because I don't think that I need to use that water with this, because this Miracle Grow has all kind of stuff in it. It said it feeds up to 6 months and all that kind of stuff, And obviously those little peak cells in there didn't have anything in there. That's why they supplied the vitamin water. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this, and I will show you my end product. Okay, so I just finished planting my seeds. I ran out of my red bell peppers because it seems like I had opened them last year and I didn't have as many, so I had to mix up a couple of these. I think I only have one row of big rainbows, and the rest will be the Dollar Tree tomatoes, but we'll see. But anyway, this Miracle Grow soil is so wet and moist that I'm not even going to add water. I'm just going to cover it, and I'm going to put it. I done switched the lids up. Let me see. No, I didn't. Okay, I got the right lid on it. It says cover the plantable trays with a clear greenhouse lid with the dowels closed. Okay, so there's dowels on top, and place it in a warm location away from direct sunlight. So I'm gonna show you in a minute. Let me make sure I close these dowels. Okay, let's see, let me stand up. Okay, that is so neat. The dowels are closed. I will clamp it down shut. I have to do it with both hands, but when I come back, I'll show you what I did with them. My trays. So I'm gonna put both of these beneath my china cabinet. To be continued. All right, so I've moved on to my planters, and I have dedicated 2 of these containers to these sugar babies, because I really want some of those. I'm gonna try my best with these to watch them and make them grow. And I'm telling y'all, this Miracle Grow soil is so wet. I mean, I don't know if it's because I left it. I don't know. I left them out here on the deck for a couple of days, and it did. Did it rain? I think it did. But I think it's just the way they formulated it is so wet. So I'm not even going to water this stuff. I'm going to wait a day or two before I'm going to touch the soil and make sure I need to water. My hands are so dirty now. And then this planter has the red jalapenos and the green jalapenos. And then this one is this broccoli, dedicated to broccoli. And I think the last thing I want to do is get out here and plant the rose bush and those 2. And I might just plant some of my wildflowers out there behind those planters in the yard. And I have packs of wildflower seeds I showed you earlier. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get in the house and cook some dinner. All right. Okay, y'all, I am so tired. I finished with all my little planter boxes that I showed you earlier. Got my sugar baby, one of them over there. Sugar baby watermelons, one here. And my broccoli and my jalapeno peppers and some cayenne peppers up here. I fertilized some of my plants. Here comes Tommy. Hey, Tommy. And then down here, I planted that, what was this called? Gladiolas. Ugh. Yeah, no, rhododendron. English rhododendron. Planted that down there beside a rose bush. This rose bush, I don't think it made it. That's from last summer. The rose bush I just showed y'all, which is this one. The Climbing Queen Elizabeth, I planted right here. I don't know if this one made it. I don't know why. I have no idea. And then I planted this one recently, and I just planted those hostas right there. And I decided to leave the label up so I would know what I was looking at. And then I planted in front of my little climbing rack the clematis, that one bulb. And I did all this so my husband would not cut the grass and roll over it. So I put the little thing right there. And like I said, I fertilized some of my trees and all that stuff. I don't know if this grapevine is gonna make it. This is the 3rd one that I have purchased from Walmart, and I am just done if it didn't make it. It's a Concord organic grapevine. So that was it for today. Tommy toes. Look at Tommy, y'all. Tommy. I got dinner ready. Got my French toast in there. Cut my timer off. Got my meatballs and my spaghetti noodles. And I have to watch this. I put the timer on. Ooh, the ones in the back look like they're done. But anyway, thank y'all for joining me. Anyway, I just want to say thank y'all for joining me today. And I will keep y'all posted on my plans. Because I am determined I'm going to make this thing work. All right. See y'all soon. Bye.